Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Ethan, and today, welcome to our fourth episode of Roster United. I'm happy to have you guys here, and thank you again for listening to our podcast. Today, we're gonna go through two heroes, like we did in the first episode where we went through Captain America and Iron Man. Well, today we're also gonna do the same with Black Widow and Ant-Man. We're gonna get to know how they play, their abilities, and their type of character they are, and see if they are a good team player in different scenarios. Alright, so let's begin, shall we? Let's go off with the one, the only Black Widow. Alrighty? So, Black Widow, let's see her number of symbols. She has 4 moves, 7 hits, 4 heroic, and 3 wilds. Interesting. So, we see here clearly that she is a hit player. But what does her ability say? Does that affect her stats? Well, let's see. Interrogate. She has 3 cards of this, and this is what Interrogate is. It says here, look at the top card of the Master Plan deck or the Villain's deck. You may place it on the top. Or excuse me, look at the top card of the Master Plan deck. You may place it on the bottom. Excuse me. So that basically means that every 3 turns, the villain draws a card called the Master Plan. Well, with this power, you can see the Master Plan card with Black Widow's power, and you can see, hey, does this really affect us now? Do we, need civilians? Oh, he's gonna bam us, so we better put this in the bottom. Different scenarios like that. And you can do that with her power, and that is really, really powerful in many scenarios, especially in endgame scenarios. Plus, with her 7 hit symbols, she's pretty stacked. I can't lie. But she also has really decent movement and heroic, and of course, she has an average of 3 wilds, which is great, which is fine. It's average. But everything else, honestly, these stats aren't bad. Aren't bad at all. She's not an overall, or excuse me, she's not an all around character. If she was an all around, excuse me, I can't say it, all around character, her moves would be like 5, and her heroics would be a 5, 2. So yeah, stuff like that. But she's not, but she is a big hitter, I can't lie, and also her power is one of the most powerful ones in the entire game. Yes, you heard me right. So yeah, her ability is great again. But honestly, she's not that good of a team player. She does have lots of 2 symbol cards, but the problem is, it's not like helpful 2 symbol cards. It's like 2 heroic symbol cards or 2 hit cards, which are useful. But what if you're playing with a character that doesn't move a lot, and you're in a location where there's no civilians and there's no thugs or villains there to attack? So sometimes it can be, sometimes it's not. I put down that she is not that good of a team player, I think. But her overall grade that I gave her was a 3.5 out of 5. So that's what I thought about Black Widow. I have experience with playing Black Widow, I think once or twice around there. And she wins a lot. I've won every single game with her. But the problem is, she's not really a good team player. I played with Hulk. Thankfully, Hulk has lots of movement cards, because if you can do that, then Black Widow can move around more and she can hit more. And she also assists a little bit just because of the hits with Hulk, and Hulk can move a lot. So Black Widow and Hulk are kind of a good match. So is Captain America. Since I've had experience with, because Captain America he has that one power which is called leadership, and he can give a wild token to any hero. So if he gave that to me or to somebody else who's playing as Black Widow, they can take advantage of that. So yeah, I don't know, she's not that bad, but again, she's also not super duper good. But she's a great character to play with and one that will win a lot of games for you. Alrighty, so let's now go to Ant-Man. Now, I might talk a little bit about Ant-Man just because you're gonna hear his stats, and they're not gonna be the best in the whole world. And I have more to explain of that, other than Black Widow, because Black Widow is actually pretty good in this game, so I can't lie. So Ant-Man, though, let's go with him. Let's see his stats. He's got 3 moves, 2 hits, 7 heroics, and 4 wilds. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. But before we even go, into that, first off, he's got 7 heroics, which is great. But look what else he's got. He only has, excuse me, my English. He only has 2 hits. He can only move 3 times. His 4 wilds is above average, which is pretty good, I can't lie, but that's it. And one of his abilities doesn't even have a symbol to use. So basically, he has 11 cards in that deck. Even though he doesn't, but one doesn't really count anything. But let's look at his ability, shall we? He has 3 different separate abilities here. So let's see. His first one's called Grow. This is what Grow says. It says move 1 space, then deal 3 hits against a single target. Pretty useful. Shrink is another one. And it says you cannot take any damage until the beginning of your next turn. Also interesting. Very helpful too, actually. And Quantum Leap. Now, this is the one where there's no symbol. So you're playing this without any symbol, but it makes sense because, well, you'll see. So it says here Quantum Leap. Swap this card with any of the face up cards that you've already played in the storyline. That card becomes the one you played this turn, which is really helpful because you can actually swap that card with your 2 wilds, right? Your double wilds or whatever the occasion may be. You can swap a card with one of yours that you've already used, which is pretty useful. I can't lie, it's really useful. But that doesn't come with an extra symbol or an extra bonus. It's just that. So it's really nice. It just depends. It depends on what situation you're in. I mean, now you might be wondering, okay, there's maybe 3 separate situations. No, no. If you've played Marvel United, every single game is different, literally, and it's not because you changed characters or you changed the villain. If you keep, and I promise you, if you keep the same villain and the same heroes that you are playing with, every single game will be different. Either harder, easier, you'll win or you'll lose. Everything happens in that game. So yeah, there's many possibilities that can help and many others that probably isn't that useful. So we've seen here clearly Ant-Man has a 7 heroic symbols, and that means that he is obviously a heroic character. But that's it, really. I mean, everything else is below average. He doesn't move, he doesn't necessarily hit except with his ability. His ability actually deals more damage than his symbols combined in the cards. And that's it. And he's not really that good of a team player either. He doesn't have a lot of team player cards, or by that I mean 2 symbol cards. He doesn't have any of that stuff. And it's, I don't know, maybe I'm being too hard or something with Ant-Man because I have played with him and I have won. But the problem is, you know, That's it. He's won thanks to other team players, and well, not just team players, just with other players in general, because he can't move, he can't hit a lot. And I'm sorry, Ant Man, I really like you, especially in the movies. I think you're really cool. But in the game, you're gonna go through some problems. You really need to find that perfect match. For me personally, I've had experiences with Hulk. Hulk is not really a good team player, but his stats are insane and they're good. And it's just Hulk and Ant Man kind of match together. Ant Man and I believe Black Panther also kind of fit together. And of course, we're going to explain more about those characters later in the future, in the near episodes. But yeah, honestly, for me though, Ant Man he's okay. I gave him an overall of a 2 out of 5, and I only gave him 2 out of 5 because everything else in his stats is not good. I might update it to 2.5 out of 5 just because of his good abilities, but that's it. I mean, he can't move, he can't hit, he can't do lots of stuff. But he can save lots of people too, and he's not really a good team player. Alrighty, so we see here we just went through today Black Widow and Ant-Man. Both aren't really that good of a team player if we're combining them. Black Widow is a little better in the team player. She has a better stat than Ant-Man except for the heroics, but everything else Black Widow kind of wins it. I mean, Black Widow there's a difference between 7 heroics and, and and 3 moves and 2 hits. There's another difference between Black Widow's 7 hits and 4 moves and 4 heroics. I mean, she can save people or clear threats, and she can still move and hit. Ant-Man can kinda move, kinda hit, not really, but he can save lots of people or clear lots of threats too. And he can take damage too as well. He could be a sacrificing kind of guy, and he's not really that good of a team player too. So, yeah, that is it for us today, boys and girls. We just went through Ant-Man and Black Widow. We learned about them and their cool abilities and how they play. Very, very interesting. So next day, tomorrow, if I am correct, we are going to do 2 more characters, plus a special episode, of course, with Luke, whom we are going to talk about Marvel United. Basically, anything he wants to talk about the game, we'll do it here in the podcast. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. And you know what? I almost forgot. I didn't announce the next 2 heroes. We're going to go through the main core box. So the characters that we have left is Hulk, Wasp, and Captain Marvel. Now, tomorrow, I'll only be doing all 3 of them. Yes, tomorrow there's going to be a bigger episode where we're going to talk about Hulk, we're going to talk about Wasp, and Captain Marvel. And just a sneak peek, we're gonna go through after that episode Friday. No, wait, excuse me. Tomorrow's Friday. Then Monday we're gonna go through and we're gonna talk about the Spideyverse. Yes, we're gonna talk about Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and so on and so forth. I don't want to spoil it yet, and yeah. But if you want to see a sneak peek, if you want to see what I'm going to talk about now, please go to our website, rosterunited.boxmode.io, and then click that enter button, and it'll take you directly to our site. And of course, if you want to check where I'm making my hero stats, go to Hero Stats in the homepage up here. Just click Hero Stats, and it'll take you to all the heroes that I have done. Now, this is updated every single day, so more heroes will be on. It's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to, go through every single character and then type a little paragraph here about that. And of course, I want to do it good, so it's going to take me a while. But thank you for understanding. Anyway, but if you want to see our characters again, our website, go there or click on our profile. Um, Click the podcast profile, and that you can see our site there. Alrighty. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and hope you have a great day. See ya.